Today, we're diving deep into a book that offers a refreshing and truly helpful perspective on building genuine confidence. It's called The Confidence Gap, a guide to overcoming fear and self-doubt by the brilliant Dr. Russ Harris. Now, many of us think that confidence is something you either have or you don't. We imagine it as this solid, unwavering feeling that some lucky people are born with. We believe that once we finally feel confident, then we'll be able to take on those challenges, to pursue our goals, and to live the life we truly want. But what if I told you that this very idea of confidence is a myth? What if the secret to a more confident life isn't about waiting for that feeling to magically appear, but about something entirely different? That's the core message of Dr. Harris' book. He argues that the confidence gap isn't about a lack of confidence itself, but rather about our relationship with fear. We tend to see fear and self-doubt as enemies, as obstacles that need to be eliminated before we can act. We think, I can't do that because I'm afraid, or I'm not good enough, so I shouldn't even try. This constant battle against our fears and insecurities is what keeps us stuck in the confidence gap. So, what's the solution? Dr. Harris, drawing on the principles of acceptance and commitment therapy, or ACT, offers a surprising yet incredibly empowering answer. He says the key isn't to get rid of fear, but to learn how to have a different kind of relationship with it. It's about accepting that fear and self-doubt are normal human emotions, and learning how to move forward in our lives alongside them, rather than waiting for them to disappear. This might sound counterintuitive, right? We've been told our whole lives to fight our fears, to conquer them. But Dr. Harris suggests a different approach. He lays out 10 powerful rules that can help us bridge this confidence gap. Let's explore these rules one by one. Rule number 1. The actions of confidence come first. The feelings of confidence come later. Think about it. We often wait to feel confident before we take action. We think, once I feel brave enough, I'll give that presentation. Or when I'm sure I won't fail, I'll start that business. But Dr. Harris flips this around. He says that the feeling of confidence often follows the action, not the other way around. Imagine someone learning to ride a bicycle. They might feel incredibly nervous and unsure at first. They might wobble and feel like they're going to fall. But with each push of the pedal, with each attempt to balance, they gradually get better. And as they start to gain control and ride smoothly, that feeling of confidence begins to emerge. It wasn't there at the beginning. It grew as a result of their actions. Dr. Harris emphasizes that if we wait until we feel confident to act, we might be waiting forever. Fear and self-doubt are often part of any new or challenging situation. So, the first step is to take action despite those feelings. Start small, take those first steps, and as you do, you'll likely find that the feeling of confidence starts to catch up. The key takeaway here is to stop waiting for confidence to appear and start acting in ways that a confident person might act. Rule number 2. Willingness is the key. Now, if we're going to take action despite feeling fear, what's the crucial ingredient we need? According to Dr. Harris, it's willingness. Willingness, in this context, doesn't mean liking or wanting to experience fear or discomfort. It simply means being open to experiencing those feelings, allowing them to be there without struggling against them. Think of it like this. Imagine you're at the beach and there's a wave coming towards you. You can try to fight the wave, to push it back, but you'll probably just get knocked over. Or you can choose to be willing to experience the wave, to let it wash over you. It might not be the most comfortable sensation, but you'll come out on the other side. Similarly, when we face a challenging situation, fear and anxiety might arise. We can try to fight these feelings, to suppress them, to wish they would go away. But often, this struggle just makes them stronger. Dr. Harris suggests that instead, we can choose to be willing to experience these feelings, to acknowledge them without judgment, and to still move forward with our actions. The key takeaway here is that willingness to feel uncomfortable emotions is essential for taking action and building confidence. Rule number 3. Values give you direction. So, we're willing to experience fear and we're taking action. But what should guide our actions? Dr. Harris emphasizes the importance of our values. Our values are what truly matter to us, what gives our lives meaning and purpose. There are guiding principles like compassion, creativity, honesty, or courage. When we take action that is aligned with our values, even if it's scary, it gives us a sense of purpose and fulfillment. This, in turn, builds genuine confidence. Think about someone who deeply values helping others. They might feel nervous about volunteering at a homeless shelter, but their value of compassion motivates them to do it anyway. Each time they act in accordance with this value, they not only make a difference in someone's life, but also strengthen their sense of self-worth and confidence. Dr. Harris points out that focusing on our values shifts our attention away from our fears and towards what truly matters. It provides a powerful why behind our actions, making it easier to push through discomfort. The key takeaway here is to identify your core values and let them be your compass, guiding you towards actions that build meaningful confidence. Rule number 4. Expand your comfort zone. Building confidence isn't about suddenly becoming fearless. It's about gradually expanding your comfort zone, little by little. Think of your comfort zone as an invisible bubble around you, representing the situations and experiences you feel comfortable with. When you step outside of this bubble, you might feel anxious or uncertain. Dr. Harris suggests that we can gently and gradually push the boundaries of this comfort zone. Start with small, manageable challenges. If you're afraid of public speaking, maybe start by sharing your thoughts in a small group of friends. As you become more comfortable with that, you can gradually move on to slightly larger groups. With each successful step outside your comfort zone, your bubble expands, and what once felt scary becomes more manageable. It's important to remember that this is a gradual process. Don't try to leap too far outside your comfort zone too quickly, as this can be overwhelming and counterproductive. Instead, focus on taking small, consistent steps forward. The key takeaway here is to progressively challenge yourself with slightly uncomfortable situations to gradually expand your comfort zone and build confidence. Rule number 5. Self-compassion is essential. As we step outside our comfort zone and face challenges, we are bound to make mistakes and experience setbacks. That's just part of being human. Dr. Harris emphasizes the importance of self-compassion in these moments. Self-compassion means treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer to a friend who is struggling. Instead of beating yourself up for making a mistake or falling short, try to acknowledge your feelings with kindness. Remind yourself that everyone makes mistakes and that setbacks are opportunities for learning and growth. Dr. Harris suggests practicing self-soothing techniques such as taking a few deep breaths or saying kind words to yourself. Self-compassion helps us to bounce back from challenges more effectively and prevents us from getting discouraged by our imperfections. It creates a safe and supportive inner environment where confidence can flourish. The key takeaway here is to be kind and understanding towards yourself, especially when you face difficulties, as self-compassion is a vital ingredient in building lasting confidence. Rule number 6. Thoughts are not facts. Our minds are constantly generating thoughts, and many of these thoughts can be negative and self-critical. We might think things like, I'm going to fail, or nobody likes me, or I'm not smart enough. Dr. Harris emphasizes a crucial point. Just because you have a thought doesn't mean it's true. Thoughts are simply words and images that pass through our minds. They're not necessarily facts or reflections of reality. Imagine your mind as a radio that's constantly playing different stations. Sometimes the stations play helpful and positive messages, and sometimes they play negative and critical ones. You don't have to believe everything you hear on the radio, and similarly, you don't have to believe every thought that pops into your head. Dr. Harris encourages us to observe our thoughts without getting carried away by them, to notice them, acknowledge them, but not necessarily to believe them or let them dictate our actions. The key takeaway here is to recognize that your thoughts are not always accurate reflections of reality, and that you have a choice about how you respond to them. Rule number 7. Diffusion helps you unhook. Now that we know thoughts aren't facts, how do we avoid getting hooked by those negative thoughts? Dr. Harris introduces the concept of diffusion. Diffusion techniques help us to create some distance between ourselves and our thoughts so they have less impact on us. One simple diffusion technique is to say the thought out loud in a silly voice or sing it to the tune of a familiar song. This can help to make the thought seem less serious and less believable. Another technique is to simply label the thought. For example, saying to yourself, "I'm having the thought that I'm going to fail." This creates a bit of distance and reminds you that it's just a thought, not a certainty. Dr. Harris provides several other diffusion techniques in the book, all designed to help us unhook from unhelpful thoughts so that we can focus on what truly matters and take action in line with our values. The key takeaway here is to learn and practice diffusion techniques to reduce the power of negative thoughts over your feelings and actions. Rule number 8. Observe your feelings without judgment. Just like thoughts, our feelings can also be intense and overwhelming, especially when we are facing fear or self-doubt. We might try to avoid or suppress these feelings, but as we learned earlier, this often backfires. Dr. Harris suggests a different approach. Observe your feelings without judgment. Imagine you're watching a wave rise and fall on the ocean. You don't try to stop it. You simply observe its natural movement. Similarly, when a feeling arises, try to notice it without labeling it as good or bad, right or wrong. Simply acknowledge its presence, where you feel it in your body, and what sensations are associated with it. Dr. Harris emphasizes that feelings are temporary. They rise and fall like waves. When we allow ourselves to feel them without resistance, they often pass more quickly. Trying to suppress or fight them can actually prolong and intensify them. The key takeaway here is to practice observing your feelings with curiosity and acceptance without judgment or the need to change them. Rule number 9. Connect with the present moment. Fear and anxiety often involve worrying about the future or dwelling on the past. Dr. Harris highlights the power of connecting with the present moment to reduce these anxieties and build confidence in the here and now. Mindfulness practices can be incredibly helpful for this. Even simple things like paying attention to your breath, noticing the sensations in your body, or engaging fully with your current activity can bring you back to the present. When you're focused on what's happening right now, there's less room for those fear-based thoughts about what might happen or what has already happened. Dr. Harris explains that when we are truly present, we can respond to situations more effectively and make choices based on our values rather than our fears. It allows us to experience a greater sense of calm and clarity, which naturally supports confidence. The key takeaway here is to cultivate present moment awareness through mindfulness practices to reduce anxiety and enhance your ability to act with confidence in the current situation. Rule number 10. Take committed action. We've talked about willingness, values, expanding your comfort zone, self-compassion, and how to relate to your thoughts and feelings. Now, Dr. Harris brings it all together with the final rule: take committed action. Committed action means taking steps, big or small, that are aligned with your values, even when you're feeling afraid or uncertain. It's about moving forward in the direction of what truly matters to you, despite the obstacles and discomfort that might arise. Think back to the person learning to ride a bicycle. They didn't wait until they felt completely confident to start pedaling. They took action, they committed to learning, and with each attempt, they moved closer to their goal. Similarly, building confidence in any area of your life requires consistent action. It's about setting goals that are in line with your values, and then taking concrete steps towards achieving them day by day. Dr. Harris emphasizes that it's not about always feeling motivated or fearless. It's about showing up and taking action even when you don't feel like it. Each time you take committed action, you reinforce your belief in yourself and build momentum. The key takeaway here is to identify your values-driven goals and to consistently take action towards them, even when it's challenging, as this is the ultimate way to build lasting confidence. So, there you have it, the 10 key rules from The Confidence Gap by Dr. Russ Harris. It's a powerful framework for understanding and overcoming the barriers to confidence that we often create ourselves. The journey to greater confidence is a personal one, and it takes time and consistent effort. But by understanding and applying these 10 rules from The Confidence Gap, you can start to build a more resilient and authentic sense of self-assurance. So, what's your next step? Which of these teachings resonates most with you right now? Which one feels like something you could start practicing today? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this summary helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more insights from great books. Thank you so much for watching, and I wish you all the best on your journey to bridging your own confidence gap.